What's going on, guys? So today I'm doing a quick video on my rental car. This is a 2019 Chevy Impala. I have to say I'm pretty impressed with it. There's definitely things I don't like about it. My Challenger's in the shop, body shop, getting some work done, which I'll explain in the future. And I wanted to get a rental. I wanted something as cheap as possible, and originally it was supposed to be some kind of little compact car. I forget exactly. I think it was a Mitsubishi. I don't remember the name. Mitsubishi something. If I remember, I'll annotate it down here. But teeny tiny little car, good on gas and everything. And the place I went to did not have much of a selection. And at the time when I called, they only had a minivan. But this was returned before that, before I got there rather. And so they gave me this. So Chevy Impala. I do like Chevys in general, but anyway. So here's a quick little walk around of the car. Again, it's a 2019. This one has a little 4-cylinder engine. This is also available, I think, in a big 6. It's putting out like 305 horsepower. This one's like 190 something. It's got a little bit of pep. Of course, you know, being around a car, I definitely tested that. And no complaints there. If you had to pull out, you know, someone's coming, you want to avoid an accident, you probably wouldn't have much of an issue with that. But, I mean, overall, it's a good-looking car, I think. I happen to like the color. It's kind of a, I don't know, a very grayish green. Fairly large car, pretty long. Does have a backup camera. It's got all the bells and whistles, leather interior. Does have the automatic startup, the remote start. It is 5 degrees out right now, and this morning I had to go get blood work done, and it was 3 degrees. All right, sorry about that. I had a cop roll up on me asking what I was doing. I said, I'm filming the car. And he's like, why? Why are you filming the car? And I said, well, because it's a rental, and I'm talking about what I think of it. And, all right, have a good day. So anyway, yeah, I forgot where I was. Overall, the style of the car, it's okay. I like the front end quite a bit. The rear end, you know, it's a little rounded, just kind of modern. Nothing really special here. So anyway, let's look at something a little more important here. Let's pop the trunk and the hood. Do a quick peek. I do like the fact that it has the remote start, so you can lock it, unlock it with the button, which is pretty simple compared to the Challenger. Challenger has a sensor underneath. All right, so I mean, right now it works fine, but who knows? 5 years from now, is it going to sense my hand every single time? There's a little button on top to lock, and to unlock, you're just using the sensor. Having a physical button, I don't know, I just kind of prefer that, I guess. But anyway, so unlock it. Good. Pop the trunk, pop the hood. All right, quite a bit of trunk space here. Definitely no complaints there, and I definitely don't need to use the trunk for anything. Does have a spare tire in here, a little bit of storage as well. Put in some, I don't know, roadside kit or first aid kit, stuff like that. Nice little nooks on the side. You mount a little fire extinguisher, which is probably what I would do if I own the car, but I don't. There's a separate compartment here for a small battery. Now, this is not the car battery, and this vehicle has something that I absolutely hate, and that is the feature where if you're sitting there stopped, it shuts off the car. All right, I don't know. I mean, this has to be some kind of thing just to save, you know, fuel economy, to be, you know, more environmentally friendly, all that kind of stuff. It's really horse crap, if you ask me. If you live somewhere where there's heavy traffic, maybe that's good. Maybe it'll save you some gas. I hate it. Can't stand it. And I learned it right away when I first stopped the car. The car shut off, which was just strange to me. Again, I mean, I don't ever drive in heavy traffic for any duration of time. So that's not something that I like, but you know, who knows, wherever you live, maybe it's something you do like. So yeah, here's the engine. You can see the regular car battery. So I don't know exactly how the system works. I'm assuming maybe the smaller battery kicks it over, or it ensures this doesn't die from constantly starting and stopping. I don't really know. But there's the engine bay. When I got this car, when they dropped it off, the guy, I did all the paperwork and stuff because they dropped it off at location, which was very nice. It was convenient, but he never went over the car. Signed paperwork, here you go, here's the keys, see you later. And the first thing I did was I familiarized with myself with the car. I was looking through things. The tire pressure, I was checking real quick just to make sure, and I'm glad I did, because it was all over the place. The back rear tire was like 29. On the other side was like 45. All right, up here was 36 or something. It was all over the place. So I ended up changing the tire pressure so it was a little safer to drive. And I didn't notice until day 2 that the windshield wiper fluid does not spray. So the reservoir is over here. At first I thought it was out of fluid, so I added fluid to it, right? Because it's winter time, and if you drive around in the winter time, you know, road salt and all kinds of stuff get in your window, and you have to clean it. So here's the sprayers. The sprayers are built into this vent piece here, and I thought maybe they're clogged or frozen or something. So I checked them out, and they were totally fine. It was barely spitting out. What's happening is somewhere where the hoses connect to these sprayers, it's just not working. It's disconnected, broken, cut. I don't know what happened, but I can't even see where those lines are, unfortunately. So what's happening is the motor's working fine, so I'm pulling the you know, the lever to spray some fluid, and you hear it, you know, the motor's going. I come outside and it's all under the car. It's pumping out somewhere under here somewhere and riding down all the nooks and crannies, and it dumps out right there. So the washer fluid doesn't work. And it's not the car's problem. It's a rental. I don't know what someone could have done to break that. This only has, I think, 38,000 miles on it. So it's a fairly new car. So I am freezing. So let's get back inside. All right. Actually, I guess before I do that, I should probably just show you what the inside looks like. Leather seat, leather interior. Top in the back seat real quick. I don't think I've sit in the back seat yet. Can I unlock the door? Yes, no, maybe. Okay. Let's see. Wow. All right, the back seat it's very roomy. There's tons of leg room and stuff. My head is just, I mean, I'm wearing a winter hat, so I can feel it's just barely touching. You know, I'm 6 foot even. So there's headspace here. I suppose if you're, you know, super tall or something, it might be uncomfortable, but there's plenty of leg room and stuff, so no issues there. All right, let's hop out, turn the car on. Maybe get the heat going in a minute here, because I'm freaking freezing. Seriously, it was 3 this morning. I think it's 5 degrees right now. All right, so might be noisy, but I gotta get the heat pumping here. Foot on the brake. All right, push start. It's a nice little message. It's called out, so it says ice possible, drive with care. Thank you for that. All right, so yeah, let's get the heat on. Let's see, gotta warm my hands up. I'm dying here. All right, I do have gloves. I didn't wear gloves because I want to be able to hold the camera comfortably without dropping it. So, what else can we talk about here? I gotta turn this down. All right, turn the blower down so it's not so noisy. All right, so the first thing that I noticed driving this car is it's very, very comfortable. There's a ton of different seating positions. You can adjust your seat in the lumbar, and you know, it goes completely up and down. So like if you're super short, the seat rises a ton. Way more than any car I've ever been in, as well as if you're super tall, it goes really far down. So if you like to sit really, really low, it really feels like there's no seats. It feels like you're sitting on the floorboards. That's a big plus. All right, so a ton of adjustment in the seat. Again, being leather and having all those different micro adjustments and stuff, it's super comfortable. Very comfortable. I have no problem driving down to Florida or something, or out to California from the East Coast here in this car. So no problem with being in it for a long duration of time. I think it makes a fantastic rental car if you are taking a long trip. As far as the design on the inside, you can see it has this kind of weird pattern that goes all the way around and loops back forward here. You know, I could kind of take it or leave it. It's interesting. When the first couple minutes I was driving, it was kind of distracting in my peripheral vision, just the way it's designed, but I've totally gotten over that in, like, you know, less than a half an hour. It has this kind of faux wood grain, but in gray or black kind of coloration. That's in the door panels and stuff, and obviously some of the accents. What I don't like is some cars where it has an interface that's on a slant here, because what ends up happening is you get a lot of sun glare. Okay, I understand by design, maybe it can't be totally flat. It's maybe easier to read on a little bit of an angle. So I get that, but you know, right off the bat, that's what happened. I got sun glare. It was hard to see what was going on there. There is a ton of storage, which is really nice. Right, this pops up. You can put a couple things in there. You got a little cigarette outlet here. 2 cup holders, which is normal. A smaller compartment right in here. All right, the glove box is fairly large, a lot of space. This little container comes out. So I mean, you can really load this thing out. You guys know I had a ton of gear. I might do a video in the near future showing all the gear that I had in my Chrysler, and I had a little less storage that's in here. I do like that there's a little thing over here, so you can push this in and it pops out. This might be nice if you're going through a lot of tolls and you pay a lot of change and stuff. It is pretty deep. It's not quite deep enough for my Glock 43, because that's the first thing I thought is I would keep a gun in there. My little Kel-Tec would probably fit in there just fine. But maybe you can keep emergency kit, first aid kit, some band-aids, whatever you want. Push that back in. But here's what's really cool. This is the main feature of the car. This button right here. There we go. So that does fit a Glock 43, which I have sitting in there right now. Of course, that's not what it is meant to conceal. There's a nice USB port in there, so you could put your cell phone in this whole big compartment if it's small enough to fit. Obviously, cell phones are getting bigger and bigger, but if your cell phone fits, it's nice because you could plug it in there, tuck it away. Because everything is all connected already, you can close this, and it's safe. It's charging the whole time, and you're using it, listening to music or navigation or whatever you're doing there. So that's kind of cool. I like that. I like that a lot. Now, as far as the screen here, it seems like just some older Android technology. It's really basic. It's not like super crisp, the images, but obviously it's clear enough to read everything. It's fine. You can pair your phone. You can cycle through some different things. You know, obviously change the speaker stuff. Do not want the radio on. I just paired my phone. I didn't play with anything with the electronics at all. Just noticed that the screen is just kind of whatever. It's a little lackluster. I'll tell you what happened right away though. When I was driving this car, about 5-10 minutes into the drive, there was an accident. Okay, someone had gotten to a fender bender, and I could see this about a quarter mile up the road, and I immediately went to put on my hazards, and I could not find the hazards. Where's the hazard lights? It's right here. Now, because I'm not familiar with the car, I didn't know that. It's not a big deal if you own the car, but I don't own the car. So sitting here in the driver's seat, it is literally blocked by view. I cannot see the hazard lights because the wheel is in the way. All right, so just a quick word of warning if you happen to rent one of these, that's where it is. Now, it's not like it's inconvenient or anything. It's just I didn't know it right away, and maybe that's my fault for not figuring that out before I started driving, but it just so happened I needed to use them real quick. Couldn't find them very easily. I turned to Christina because she was in the car with me. I said, where's the hazard lights? And she's like, oh, it's out here. So yeah, that's just something I guess worth mentioning. But again, if you own it, it really doesn't make much difference. It's just generally speaking, hazard lights are you know, a large button, and it's usually just right in the center somewhere. I remember on the older cars, it used to be on the wheel itself, which was even easier. But anyway, yeah, let's go ahead and put this in drive for a second. Here's something else I want to talk about. All right, shifting this. There's a little button on the back you can't see, but you know, depress that. Then you can shift in between all your different gears. Manual is kind of weird. All right, so the manual is basically, you know, where you can just change the gear depending on, you know, if you want to drive and have a manual feel. There's obviously no clutch or anything. A lot of modern cars have this, even not so modern cars, like 2000 cars have this feature. I had it in my Chrysler, I have it in the Challenger. Actually, the Challenger has pedal shifting as well as this. But what's interesting is that most of the cars, when you put it into a manual position, which you can see on the dash right now, we are in first gear. A lot of times in the cars, you'll take the stick shift and you'll push it over left and right to change the gears. Sometimes it's up and down. This is literally a button. Okay, so we have the you know, second gear. It won't let me go out of second gear because I'm not moving. But first gear. All right, so it's just a button. And what's weird is that it's in this rear position, so when you're driving, it's not natural, your thumb, to actually even use these buttons. If I want to downshift, I have to go way back here. It's just very, very awkward. I really don't like that. All right, so not that I'm using that feature, but that's what it is. So let's keep it in drive for a second. All right, I'm gonna drive forward like we're driving. I'm actually gonna do a quick little loop here. So I want to give you an example of the whole stopping thing. Well, I don't have my seatbelt on right now. So let's stop the car. All right, I'm in traffic. The car's off. Okay. Now it says auto stop over here. I forget if that lights up or not, but the car is completely off. My foot is just on the brake. All right, so here we go. I'm taking my foot off the brake, and the car starts up, and we start rolling. Foot on the brake. Hold it in here. Maybe I have to use the gas. All right, so use the gas. I'm driving. Stop. There's traffic. And now it doesn't want to shut off. It's interesting. All right, off the brake. I'm driving. Okay, stop. Huh. That's interesting. Maybe I have to get up to a certain speed. Let's roll back down to the bottom here. Driving, stop. Uh-oh, there's traffic. All right, car's off. All right, so I assume that's even a worse scenario, because in heavy traffic, you're not going to get up to speed. If I'm rolling over a couple, or rolling forward a couple inches and the car doesn't shut off, what is that helping me? I can't stand this feature. So anyway, I'm just on the brake. That's it. So here we go. Off the brake. Car starts and we're rolling. Now, I experienced this the first time. I was on a little bit of an incline, and so I'm on the brake. I didn't know the car was going to shut off. I didn't know it had this. And I went to go hit the gas and it rolled backwards. And what's going on? And then I heard the car start. I'm like, what just happened? You know, I knew this feature existed in cars, but I wasn't even thinking that it might be in this one. So yeah, that's the thing. So let me put you down for a second here, because I got to throw my seatbelt on. Ready to go for a quick little ride. But you got to drive safe. Of course, always wear your seatbelt. If you haven't seen my old story time video, seatbelt saved my life. So I do not drive without one, except for 5 seconds just before. All right, roll the window up because it's still freezing outside. Let's roll forward here a little bit. Actually, you know what? Let's do a quick little a little fun here. Hold on a second. There's a truck coming in, so I want to make sure they're down that way. All right. Take the traction control off. Here we go. Oh, of course, the car's off. You gotta have a little fun, right? So, put the window back up. It's cold. All right. Oh, the car's off. Now the back on. That is just so strange. I can't stand it. Really, not a fan of that at all. All right, so we're driving. My experience so far, and I had actually I thought I had 33,000. It's got 22,904 after I've been driving it. So I want to say I probably only put maybe 100 miles on it. You know, it's not a thorough review of the car or anything, but it's my initial impressions of it. Super, super comfortable. It is, it's smooth. You know, I'm not gonna knock it on that. I mean, the suspension's nice, steering's really nice. You know, it's a nice car overall. I really get, and it might be a weird way to describe it, but I get a old man car feel by it. And that, I mean that in the most positive way. You know, like old man cars, like a nice Buick or something. It rides nice, it's comfortable. There's nothing, you know, that stands out as being like amazing or awesome. It's not a sports car, you know, it's not really special. You know what I mean? It's not special in any way. I have no idea how reliable it is as far as you know, from a mechanical standpoint or anything. It's 2019, it's brand new, so of course it feels great. But yeah, I mean, that's the lasting impression that I've had so far driving this, is that it's super smooth. If you do need to take off, you could take off. You know, like I said, it's kind of quick. it bogs down on the top end, you know, so once you hit like 60, whatever, it really kind of slows down from there. Very similar to how my my Chrysler 200 was. It had a little bit of pep, you know, when you're first taking off, but yeah, I mean, overall, I have no complaints. As far as a rental car, it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. Well, I shouldn't say that, because right now I'm getting about 19 to 20 MPG, and that is very little highway, so you know, it's not a super fair comparison, I guess. Of course, if you rent, you know, something that's going to get 30 miles a gallon, that would be a lot better. If you're driving the family down to Florida to go to Disney World or something, you might not want to get a larger car and worse gas mileage. Maybe that's not a concern for you. If comfort's a concern, hey, who cares about the gas mileage? This is an extremely comfortable car, and there's plenty of room. So if you're a bigger person, or if you do have to squeeze, you know, 3 people in the back seat or something, you could do so pretty comfortably in this. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. I just want to kind of share my experiences with this car. I like it. I really like it. I don't know if I'd ever buy one, but as far as renting a car, I would definitely rent this again. It's been a pleasure, other than the tire pressure, which again has to do with the guy who prepared the car, not the car, as well as you know, the windshield fluid sprayer not working. I don't know what's going on there. I think it's just a disconnected hose. It probably either broke or fell off, or it's loose, or whatever the case is, but it's dumping fluid under the car instead of on the window where I need it. But other than that, pretty good to go. So good job, Chevy. I mean, a really nice car. Now, all that said, it's not a cheap car. I think I looked this up, and it starts, the base MSRP is like $31,000. So this is actually more expensive than my Challenger, without the features. The Challenger was $36,000, but I believe these can easily get into the 40s, depending on what options you have. The leather package in here and some of the other features, you know, might be more expensive. Obviously, this has a smaller motor, so that might be actually a little bit on the cheaper side. But who knows? I don't know the exact price for this exact model here, but it, you know, 30,000+, that's a different range of cars. You know, it's not a cheap car by any means. But I have to say, it's very comfortable. So I'm only going to have this for about a week, and then I have to return it. So yeah, that's those are my opinions on this 2019 Chevy Impala. All right, guys, I'm gonna do one more quick little Bernie Sanders for you, just because doing it on the hill is kind of cheating, right? So here, now a flat surface. The car is off, of course, so gonna turn on, hit the brake. Yeah, it's got a little pep. All right, it's cool. It's cool. All right, I noticed it has automatic window up on the driver's side. That's nice. So let's say automatic down, and then one touch automatic up. That's pretty cool. All right, well, that's it. No more fun. I am actually a responsible driver, and even in a rental car, I don't screw around. That's the only thing I did just for you guys, just for a little fun. So that's all. Hopefully you guys have a fantastic day, and I will see you tomorrow with a brand new video. Take care.